bring here a little bit of a longer video to you, just so we could talk more about like what we pack, what we put in our bags, and how we go fishing. You know what I'm talking about. I like running telescopic rods, as I always like to talk about. That's one of the same things I love running. You know, I always have my 5-foot telescopic, or I have my 6-foot telescopic for my BFS setups. That's what I like. Now let's talk about the bag itself. So a lot of people will be running backpacks, a lot of people will be running like full-size sling packs. I do that guy. So this bag has Velcro patches and all, but that's not what's important. This thing is probably about the equivalent to, I would say, I think the most I could fit in there was like a 10-inch iPad, something like that. But it has the ability to hold your rod on it. I have an additional rod holder just to keep it secure. Medipack, well, you know, first aid kit, can never be too safe. So now this is everything I carry in that bag, and as you can see, it's a lot. But that's not the point. Like, this is literally everything I have on here. I have fish attractant, I have my terminal tackle for my weights, my hooks, my jigs, bobber stops. I have all my terminal, all my hard baits. I'm actually planning on changing this out. So I'm talking about changing it out. I actually just got the Busby tackle box, and I see why a lot of people like it. Being that, in fact, the whole thing's modular, I can just pop out a section, and it's all sitting right there. It's a hard plastic. But I'm actually looking at changing out these 2 longer trays into 4 more of these smaller trays. That way I can really divide this up and get into what I really want it to look like. And then other things we have on the list, my mule fishing plastics. For that, I have the Gobi TRDs from Z-Man. I wanted to give them a try. They're interesting. Probably going to keep them on me for a little bit longer before I go ahead and put them in my box of abandoned plastics. Easy eggs, power bait, just so that way I can try out going after some trout, some dancing eggs, split shot, you know the deal. And then one of my favorite things in this whole thing is actually this right here. It's the Yoziri ice fishing line. It's fluorocarbon, 4-pound, but look at how small that spool size is. And it's really thin. So I can keep 55 yards or more if I reuse this. And I'll always have my leader line whenever I need it. So you guys should definitely look at checking out getting a spool of this just to use it as your leader line, and then use it for all your leader lines. Like when this runs out, you can throw more 4-pound on it or 6-pound on it, you know, just reuse it, because this little thing's like tippet size. It's amazing. A couple other things you might have saw on there was like my Z-Man rattlesnaker. I'm actually getting smaller rattles for it, so that way you can look for my mule fishing products, because sadly the rattles that came with it are just a little too big, so, you know, downsizing. Always keep super glue on me, just in case, like if I use my Ned rig, I can just super glue it right on there. Don't have to worry about it getting pulled off. Finding out I'm using this actually more for my regular casting setups to make my soft plastics last a little bit longer. Talk about it in another video, another day. With my rods, you know, I have my Casking Zephyr. I have currently on there a trout magnet, and then I have my Salamandura with an Acme Little Cleo. And I have these kind of geared up towards like different things, really, to make it easy. Salamandura, I have, like I said, the Little Cleo spoon on it, but it's not just more of a spooning setup. So I have 10-pound 8X braid on here with a snap swivel on here, because I want to be able to change lures really quick. And you know, a lot of researching about this stuff, and you know, whether to use leader or not use leader, it's all very subjective. So I've decided I'm not going to run leader on this, just for I put too much line on here and I don't feel like stripping it off, so I'm just going to kind of burn through it as I go. But B, like, I'm not going to bother putting leader line on like hard baits, which I probably should, but you know, again, I'm trying out different styles here. And then right now we have the Zephyr on the 5-foot rod. So for this one, I mainly particularly run this for my jigs. So this is where I'm doing like my Texas rigs, I'm doing my jig heads, swim jigs, stuff like that. Something that's going to be casting the really lighter stuff. That's because what I'm noticing, My hard baits stick around like 1/16 up to a quarter ounce, while my jigs go down to like 1/32, 1/60th of an ounce, 1/64th. So I've kind of just separated them into being one a very ultra light and then one being light. So going up to like 5 grams max on this, going up to 10 grams max on this. The whole video is to kind of show you guys what my day pack is, or my pond hobby pack, what I'm using every day. And that's just so that way you guys can kind of get a gist. You don't need to have a giant bag, especially if you're going to be out on the water for hours, at a time. You don't want to wear out your shoulders or your back. So trying to keep it as light as possible is like generally a lot better. If you're running a 2-piece multi-section or a 1-piece rod, it might be better just to have one combo on you. But being that, again, telescopic, like, these things take up no room on the bag, and they don't stick up or anything. I mean, I have it strapped in or anything, but it's nearly the length of the bag, so I don't ever got to worry about this getting rammed into a tree branch or something, or if I turn, God forbid, snap the tip. But yeah, that about does it for the video. I wanted to just show you guys that, let you know you didn't need to have a whole lot on you. You can bring it down.